Hi, everybody. Um, was supposed to make this video yesterday. Now, of course, was supposed to talk about what I'm gonna talk about today. The thing happened actually. Well, nobody probably believed that I was supposed to talk about this yesterday, but yes, I really have a lot of tabs open, and it was so loud and clear that we supposed to be talk about this case during that video, and you find out why. So today, let's just start with the uh, this brief video shown by Sky News Australia. Sad day for America. Sky News host blasts CNN coverage of attempt Trump assassination. So as always, I just uh, checked the title first. Didn't get any result, and I was just wondering why they use this sad day for America. And I listened to the host one more time.
It is a sad, sad day for America.
So she literally said, "It is a sad, sad day for America." And as you can see, it's 99 and Chaldean 66, Pythagoras 99. So as you can see, it's totally scripted. I'm not sure Sky News what is it worth or who is behind this network, Sky News, right? But I'm pretty sure if I look at it closely, I'll find out something interesting. But that's not what I was going to talk about today. Okay. So, for example, uh, if you would be interested in the conflicts of two sides, which are totally controlled, as what we know, but you can play them as useful idiots, as always, because once you don't need somebody, you play him as a useful idiot. You make him believe that it's totally under your support and coordination. And then it goes bam, 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 and something happens, right? So, probably plenty of people would say it was a scripted event and it could be staged. And I'm not going to talk about this today. I'm just going to talk about the evidence that I found in plenty other cases, not only this one. It's not a coincidence list, it's a total campaign, the agenda, the method of scripting the mainstream news. And alternative, by the way, because alternative is also involved in this. Mainstream alternative, of course, not the alternative like me or somebody like with 5,000 subscribers or something. Take a look at the view count. I'm censored. The more I make videos on 33, 44 issues, the more I'm censored. So that's what they didn't like about me. If I would be talking blah 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 mudflood blah 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 tartaria, I probably wouldn't be so censored. I was always involved in some, you know, correlation to the current events, the algorithm that they were using in the past and what they're using now. I was comparing, analyzing, and I was always presenting this information, which plenty of people, of course, didn't like and don't like because they think it's all scripted. Why should we take any time on that? Why should we try you? Why should we trust you? No, 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 no. They don't want to do it because they're totally in comfort zone with the lullabies and the warm urina flushed in their ears by so-called alternative opinion leaders. Okay, so for example, this is Sky News Australia. I'm sure this corporation has a relation to Britain. And guess what country is a frontman of this Ukraine Russia campaign on the side of Ukraine? Guess what? It was always Great Britain. And the Zelensky, the Green Man, the guy who totally changed his opinion after showing up in London and visiting MI6, the only president who ever did that officially. So basically, let's see, June 12, 2023, I recorded a video about coronation symbolism, in which I was talking about King Charles' coronation and so on. Very interesting video. And there was a little part about Zelensky. So let's take a listen. Who is meeting Rishi Sunak for like 3 times a week, sometimes, on different trips. Or maybe Sunak himself visiting Kiev a couple of times already. And Boris Johnson was a big guest. He even visited it after his resignation. So, I mean, they're so interested in that. Why is that? Because Zelensky himself was visiting Britain and he was meeting Charles and then so on. But there's one information that I found interesting also about Zelensky is that this Ukrainian blogger said that he was meeting not only video is 2 years ago. It was Prince William, Boris Johnson, and he was also meeting the guy. His name is Richard Moore, and so on. So the video could be still found, but YouTube kind of edited up the search results. You can't find this information anymore. So sometimes you have to go deeper and find it on different other places, like this, for example, this channel. This guy is not very trusted, by the way, but sometimes he's saying the truth because Zelensky is his political competitor. So, and they're kind of fighting with Zelensky. So he tells this information and confirms that Zelensky actually himself said that he was meeting the MI6 head Richard Moore, and he was talking about war in Russia. So you can also find some articles in Russian sources. For example, this article is from 15th of October. President Zelensky became the first political figure in history that, with full dignity, told about him being hired or recruited as an agent uh, in the headquarters of English British Secret Service MI6. Yes. So basically, what I'm saying here is that Zelensky himself told the media, and this guy confirms he's a like a parliament, also opposition fraction of parliament. He is a servant, I would say, of ex-president of Ukraine Poroshenko. So this guy is changing his shoes every time he jumps, as we say in Russia. He is very good one to lick somebody's butt, and so he was in conflict with Zelensky a while ago, so was always trying to troll him, trying to, because Zelensky was unpopular prior to the start of Russian special operation in February 2022, and that time, by the way, there was Olympic Games in China, and this year is also the year of 33rd Olympic Games in Paris. So might keep an eye on something that's gonna happen this time also. So Ukraine, which is also has a 33rd year of its independence, had a conflict in 2022 between this guy and Zelensky. And so this guy also confirmed that Zelensky met MI6. So why would you meet an MI6, you know, openly or leak it to the media? And with all these connections between Britain and Ukraine here in this video, you will find out that that looks quite plausible to think about. This is a connection to, of course, the Sky News as being the British media also, because he was basically it was voiced out loud by plenty of his so-called opposition friends. Okay, so disgraceful for people. By the way, president is the role which was used in colonies to be controlled by the king, by the queen, by whoever of the crown, right? So being a president of something means that you are put in resident means that you're still a resident of the crown, okay? And you're supposed to work for them. But the crown is not just the crown. The crown is global, not concerned in the shape of their global meaning, the way they call themselves. They call themselves a global network, the global network of so-called Great Reset, the Great Reset. Take a look at the part that I did.
Everyone is talking about the Great Reset. And some of you are saying, oh, here we go, another conspiracy theory. This is not a conspiracy theory. As a matter of fact, Time Magazine just devoted an entire issue to promoting the Great Reset.
I send you my warmest greetings and best wishes on the launch of the Great Reset. The COVID-19 pandemic is causing enormous human suffering and economic hardship. A microscopic virus has closed down entire countries and economies. In doing so, it has exposed the fragility that characterizes much of our world. But this fragility is not confined to health systems. Runaway climate change, unsustainable levels of inequality, and the lawlessness of cyberspace are all warning signs that we must heed. The Great Reset is a welcome recognition that this human tragedy must be a wake-up call. As you rightly say, it is imperative that we reimagine, rebuild, redesign, reinvigorate, and rebalance our world. Rebalancing investment, harnessing science and technology, and advancing the transition to net zero emissions, all elements of the Great Reset, are fundamental to building the future we need. We must build more equal, inclusive, and sustainable economies and societies that are more resilient in the face of pandemics, climate change, and the many other global challenges we face.
Remember, I was talking about David Sachs and his role in sustainable development. So sustainable, sustainable. You know, it's sustainable, right? It's 33. So let's.
The global stakeholders. Who's that? Is it world leaders? Is it religious leaders? Is it the academics? Is it the elite billionaires? Who is it that we are entrusting to fix the world? I don't mind fixing the world. I don't mind making the world a better place. The question is, who is leading this initiative? Who's making the decisions on how we're going to make the world a better place?
We have an incredible opportunity to create entirely new sustainable industries, investing in nature as the true engine of our economy.
The current global crisis has disrupted every aspect of our lives, but it has also presented us with an extraordinary opportunity, a chance to reset and accelerate efforts to improve the state of our world.
Changing our current trajectory will require bold and imaginative action, together with determination and decisive leadership. In order to secure our future and to prosper, we need to evolve our economic model, putting people and planet at the heart of global value creation. If there is one critical lesson we have to learn from this crisis, we need to put nature at the heart of how we operate. We are on the verge of catalytic breakthroughs that will alter our view of what is possible and profitable within the framework of a sustainable future. We need nothing short of a paradigm shift, one that inspires action at revolutionary levels and pace. We simply cannot waste any more time. The only limit is our willingness to act. And the
they
time
showing
to
you.
act
Look at what.
is now.
Look what they showing you during the word reset.
Within the framework of a sustainable future. We need nothing short of a paradigm shift, one that inspires action at revolutionary levels and pace. We simply cannot waste any more time. The only limit is our willingness to act. And the time to act is now.
So basically, proclaiming reset during showing the empty streets, the things that I've been talking about for several years, and had a pretty big videos on that topic. Okay, which some were trying to debunk but didn't succeed. So, and this technology was performed plenty of times before, and probably gonna be performed plenty of times after now. And we are currently witnessing one of the examples, pure examples, how this is performed. So you have two sides. You have two sides that think they are totally controlled, and they are full of uh, so-called agents, the actors. Yeah, they call them the actors in diplomatic language. Those people who think they giving orders. Those people who think that they control everything. That they actually go out and say something loud in the media, on a meeting, on a campaign, on a rally, whatever. Those people who think they are in control of something, they made to be thinking like this, to believe that they are in control. But as we know, the script is a script, and somebody is always planning to do something on that. Make sure everything follows the plan. And so let's go to the event itself. I like the way it's presented here in this video. That's why I turned it on. It's one of the last videos I was watching on this topic, and I think it's one of the best. Why is that? Because it's owned by Great Britain, and the idea of this video and the narrative they present in here is very interesting, and it's concerning what we're gonna what I was one of the things at least one of the things I was supposed to talk about yesterday when I was thinking of making this video. But now I got kicking ass, so I have to make it because people already start to talk about it, and I already made a comment on my channel, which nobody read yet. Take a look. Um, so the comment is here, only one like, and a comment in addition by me about the red wave that was in 1984, I believe, somewhere. Um, and that red wave was actually the result of so-called Reagan assassination. So let's take a look at this video.
It is hard to find the words to describe the shock and the horror that people are feeling right now, after many of us were witnessing on live television.
As you can see, what they show is to justify the so-called wound, the injury. But basically, if you know how bullets are flying, you could probably understand that if there was a touch from the automatic rifle, it's supposed to be just a scratch, because if that would be a scratch, that would be a pure hit. Probably the part of the ear would have been missing. As you can see, the top part of the ear is still here. At least we can visualize something like a top part of the ear. Probably uh, the better shots that would be, the better quality. You understand that is just a scratch, because if it wouldn't be as just a scratch, you would see the ear being torn off. Okay, so basically what I was saying here, uh, let me make it a little bit more visible. So Thomas Matthew Crooks is the potential suspect, uh, 77, who lived in Bethel Park, the city like 30 miles away or something. I might be wrong. I'm not even watching the map yet. Didn't watch the map yet. So his name is the city name is 44, and that's not the first time I'm meeting that stuff. Probably today, if I have time and show every tab that I have saved, you will find out that that's not the only city name that we have a 44, which is corruption in the creative world. One of the videos I've recently made on the topic 3344 includes that part. So probably watch from the first to the, I don't know, to the last to see if you can find out how it's that legit or not. Make your own assumption. So, who lived in Bethel Park, which is 44, has made an assassination attempt, which is 66. I was supposed to be talking about that yesterday because I was supposed to be talking about several assassination attempts, because the Trump's assassination attempt is not the first assassination attempt during this summer. Okay, that's the assassination attempt number 5, I think, or maybe number 6. Who knows? I didn't count them all yet. Okay, so assassination attempt number 66 on the 13th of July, which is 39, and you'll know that 39 is 33, the hidden fool in 33, in the city of Butler, Pennsylvania, which is 7766, which resulted in a right ear scratch, 7744, which means it gives two numbers. When it has two numbers that we are interested in, this is definitely the case, especially when you have something related to 33. Of course, this is. By the way, I'm just researching only 3344 issue. Once you see 77, you might be confused why I'm using 77, because look at the alphabet and their their favor of or maybe privilege in using letter G number 7 in alphabet. And so if you go through in circle and you return to A, B, C, D, and so on the second turn, you will find that the G makes to be and number 33 on the second turn of the alphabet. So that's why when you see 77 is also related as a G, it's a double G. Double G, they use it everywhere in rap music and so on. So you would understand that it's not only Masonic favor to use a G letter. Okay, and so right ear scratch, as I was saying, 77 and 44. Okay, um, so basically, if you read this, 77 who lived in 44 has made a 66 on the 33 in 7766, which resulted in 7744. And I was already telling you that Trump 2016 is 33, Trump 2024 is also 33. This is what they use every time they brand themselves. And some people even also said that you got fired, Joe Biden, you got fired. Thing that was written on during these and plenty of other meetings of Trump rallies, which people hold the posters behind his back. And of course, that is interesting. But, let's go further.
The assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump at a campaign rally in Pennsylvania.
As you can see, people were holding different posters, and some of them, they were holding this poster over here: Crooked Joe, you were fired. Biden, you got fired, and so on. So plenty of other interesting things.
This is a devastating day for America. Right now, people are pouring their hearts out on social media and posting "Pray for Trump."
So what this anchor is doing, she's like saying what people are doing now, which is total manipulation to ignite people of doing something if you are not still doing it because others are doing it. Like everybody is wearing masks, so you're supposed to wear a mask, right? Oh.
Many of the people I'm speaking with over there are feeling scared about how close this was.
How close this was. How close this was. And it really was closed. Because if you take a look to this case, you'll find out that he moved his head just a half second prior to shot occurred. So probably even during the flight of the bullet, because sound is not so quick to reach the device, right? And it was like 100 meters away, 100 yards away, 150 yards away. Who knows? I didn't calculate the measure, but they say so. So that was close, she was saying. People are pissed off and doing something on the social media. That was close. The second message here.
Looking at the still images, you can see the bullet.
Yeah, looking at the still image, you can see the bullet. As you can see, this still image actually shows something flying on the side that he moves the head during the speech. Yes, it was actually happening.
That pierced his right ear. As
Pierced his right ear like it was a like it was some jewelry that pierced his ear. No, it wasn't jewelry. It was a bullet, as what you're saying.
he gets up with blood smeared on his face.
Look what happened.
So basically, he touched the ear during the second shot, which was already. So probably he was shot. He was pierced with the bullet at the second shot. I think. Talking about this case and so on.
This horrific act has just deepened an already huge divide in the United States of America.
So the next point she makes, talking point, huge divide. So like saying you are already divided because that's basically it's only like 5 to 10% of population who are recently are active in so-called political meetings, rallies and so on. It's not everybody. So the division she is actually talking about is division between these 10% people. It's like 5% on 5%, or maybe 7 on 3 or 6 on 4. Who knows? What is the actual number of these participants, these activists? And so the saying that they are divided already doesn't mean any good information for us to think about, but she's meaning it and she's talking about it.
But if you were following media outlets like CNN today, well, you would have thought that Donald Trump had a fall. Look at this headline. Secret Service rushed Trump off stage after he falls at rally. Falls.
So basically, what she's trying to do is she's trying to blame the Democratic media haven, CNN, for I don't know what, for being the guys who were waiting for assassination to be successful or something. Take a look at what she's saying.
It was an assassination attempt. He's not Joe Biden that doesn't know how to stand up. And that's not a one-off headline. This morning, I was looking at my phone and I was taking screenshots because even though it's CNN, I still couldn't believe it. The next headline I saw, Trump injured in incident at rally. Incident. That's really what they wanted to go with when the man who's been president before and is running again was just shot. Oh, and there's more. Video captures what happened at Trump rally that left him injured. Ooh, wonder what it could be. CNN is using the video as clickbait while refusing to acknowledge what it is that just occurred.
Basically, blaming CNN for using video as a clickbait is accusing every other media to do so because everybody does it.
and that is an attempt to murder the man who is running for president, something that has not happened since 1981 when there was an assassination attempt on Republican President Ronald Reagan.
So what's what we're talking about? Red wave. She probably means this, but she doesn't want it to be loud. But the coincidence is very significant, and she's, of course, mentioning it because she's reading the script, and somebody wrote that script for her.
I scroll further down CNN's website and I get to analysis, and of course there's this headline: Trump is favoured, but Biden can still win this election. Well, I really doubt that. But let's leave CNN for now. I have more to say about their coverage in a moment because it actually gets worse. And let's look at some of the other reaction we are seeing today. And remember, America is right now feeling the weight and the heartbreak of what has unfolded today. But
so again, emotions, playing on emotions, trying to seed the confidence that that you're supposed to be feeling as others, as those who are really ignited by this case, those that are engaged by this case, not only in social media, but have to do something.
Colorado Democrat Stephen Woodrow posted on X, "The last thing we need was sympathy for the devil, but here we are." Really classy. You know, comments like that are expected from troll accounts, but politicians, well, it really gives us an insight into how dark and how ugly some of the thinking and some of the attitudes are, and also how much hate there is for Donald Trump. So let's look at what some of the Democrats have said in the past. Have they ever called for political violence?
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country, and maybe there will be.
People need to start taking to the streets. This is a dictator.
You know, there needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
Enemies of the state.
Show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
Do something about your dad's immigration practices, you feckless.
When they go low, we kick them.
How do you resist the temptation to run up and wring her neck?
The biggest terror threat in this country is white men, most of them radicalized right up to the right.
I thought he should have punched him in the face. I said, even if you lost, he insulted your wife.
Yes.
He came down the escalator and called Mexicans rapists and murderers. He said, well, what do you think I should have done? I said, I think you should have punched him in the face and then gotten out of the race. You would have been a hero.
I'd like to punch him in the face. I said if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
Punch some people in the face!
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's a fact.
Look, as his character is stabbed to death.
Where is John Wilkes Booth when you need him?
That's it right there.
I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
A Missouri state senator is under investigation by the Secret Service after saying she hopes President Trump is assassinated.
I will go and take Trump out tonight.
It is just disgusting. Now back to CNN, because according to them, despite surviving an assassination attempt, there's no legitimate threat to Donald Trump.
That's what she's trying to do. She's trying to burn the fire while putting some more gas in it. It's called gaslighting. Gaslighting is one of the main instruments of manipulation that media is using.
Donald Trump and the people around him perceive themselves to be under threat, and that's all that matters. That is not legitimate. That is wrong.
Oh, and here's more CNN coverage complaining about how Trump reacted seconds after someone tried to kill him.
I do want to say there was one thing that when I watched the tape, I found odd because of all of the heated rhetoric. And that is that after he was hit, former President Trump got up and said, fight, fight, fight. I think what we're hearing from people is that's not the message that we want to be sending right now. We want to tamp it down.
Now, we all know that those comments were going to come at some point. Let's find a way to criticize or even blame Donald Trump when we analyze how he was almost murdered on stage.
Again, almost murdered on stage. So, and this is just the Sky News Australia channel. Okay, this is not even an American channel, but you know what they're trying to do is they're trying to get some views on YouTube, because the the modern, fragmentation or sector of the views is mainly YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and only like maybe 20% are watching TV. So nobody is even competing on a TV stage here. They are competing for YouTube views, for sharing this type of clips where you can see the montage of everybody trying to threat Trump and so on. So I mean, this is ridiculous. What they are doing now is they are fighting for the views of young Americans who are not engaged yet here, and you can see truly that young Americans have some problem in understanding what's going on, and so watching these type of videos at certain point, they would be kind of made to think the right way, be used as useful idiots, and so on. And the boring finish here is showing FBI's people who are looking like three Masons here that are disappointed with what happened and that they didn't complete the job and didn't do it done, make it done because there was one guy who was actually saying that he saw, and at least two guys were saying it on TV that they saw the shooter, that he was on the roof of some building with the automatic rifle, and so they told the police, and police didn't do nothing. And as we can see, we can hear first at least 3 shots before the main amount of counter shots were completed. So basically, is what I'm saying. These guys were to cover up the crouch of that guy on the roof, because you're supposed to watch all the roofs around the meeting, which is specially secured with the so-called Secret Service. So talking about president's recent interview, which also was in my tab, made uploaded on June 6, 2024. So 6/6 24, which is 4 times 6 also, and 2 plus 4 is 6. Anyway, Tucker Carlson network, we all know, is not just an alternative media. It's also a 77. So along with Tucker Carlson himself being very questionable with this last name, which is correlating with Corona, Crown, and all these coincidences that I found. You can find it on my channel. Plenty of videos showing that example. One of them is Crow Crown and Ray Bradbury series of 3 videos. You would find out that is not just a coincidence for people in the mainstream having this Carl, and so on relation. Anyway, so let's just hear what this president, so-called successful one, Nayib Bukele, by the way, is also a 3344 issue, and so let's listen to his formula.
So what, just bottom line it for us, what's the formula?
Well, I can tell you the official formula and the real formula.
Okay.
So the official formula is that we did a plan. I mean, we did a plan. It's not that, when I say official, I mean it's a lie. It's just, the official one. We did a plan that was comprised of phases. So we roll up the first phase, then the next one, then the next one, and then gangs started attacking back. So we had to roll up everything at once.
Basically what he's saying, that he had some type of plan and they were following the phases of the plan. Then the gangs of Salvador started to attack in his back, knowing all that gangs are officially made by the so-called police to legitimize their own existence and to fight with something. When you don't have anything to fight with, why should you be working or existing, right?
Like in a hurry. So and it worked. It worked. In a couple of weeks, the country was transformed because the gangs were not yet arrested, but they were on the run. So
basically, he was saying like something happened and the gang started to be on the run, not even saying anything. So all he says is phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, gangs start attacking, now they on the run, and that plan worked.
we basically in the roll up of phase 6.
So now it's phase 6, and look how he is describing it. His eyes are down, meaning he is ashamed of what he's saying because he's basically lying or not telling the truth.
We basically pacified the country in a couple of weeks.
How do you do that? How do you pacify?
Even Carlson is excited to know how he how he did it, actually, because what he's just said is nonsense and he didn't say anything.
The country.
Well, the phases included building up of the police forces, the army. We doubled the army.
Oh, that's how it works. You double the army and build up the police forces. What a recipe.
We literally doubled the army to fight crime, to use the army to fight crime. And we equipped them before, like soldiers, we didn't have useful guns.
Oh, the guy doesn't even know the soldiers are not supposed to fight the crime. Soldiers supposed to fight other countries, other enemies, or be involved in special operations. So he basically is trying to convince us that he had a recipe that did work with the help of the army, and that's what we need to talk about that a little bit later.
Or vehicles, drones, basic things that an operation of that magnitude,
including drones, like what we have already witnessed in the recent campaign in Ukraine, where drones became one of the most important resources that the sites use in their daily routine operations. So he is again saying that the help of army technologies, military technologies would help. I remember Ramaswamy saying the same. Just put the army on a border and you're going to have no immigrants, right? Ramaswamy 33 said.
That we'll need. So, yeah, we roll up the phases and then we went after them.
Okay, so that's the official. That's the official.
Yeah, that's the official one.
What's the real?
It's a miracle.
So basically, the real is a miracle. So something happened that he doesn't understand. As I've been saying, residents are put in residence, the useful idiots that are sometimes think they have some type of, help by the god or whatever. But actually, it's all made by people like this, like Tucker Carlson's just a little piece of the puzzle. Or Karl III, also a little bit of the puzzle, and Zelensky and Trump and Putin, everybody is a little bit of this puzzle, but some of them are used as useful idiots, some of them just used as an ordinary actor who gets the role, who gets the script written by the other people in his team, or maybe from the higher hierarchy, media outlet, or maybe author who sends him the text or talking points or whatever. These so-called advisors and so on. The Institute of Advisors is highly useful for controlling the people, actually, to manipulate them to act the right way. And even if they don't act the right way, to use them to be acting at least. So it's like a provoking mechanism to use the puppet, okay? So basically, we see the guy who is bragging that his country solved the mystery of crime fight during his his time of being a president. And he started to be president. He used the military, and so the idea is to use the military, and everything's gonna be okay. That's the idea of this interview, actually, and his success. So Next one is returning to Trump and his choice of so-called choosing the vice president, and the Gutfeld, as you know, is also a 33 show. Gutfeld, yeah, 33 show, and he let's see, his point on Trump's vice president choice.
Set to announce his VP soon. Doug Burgum is rumored to be at the top of the list. Trump likes his governing style and business experience, but also really enjoys his cereal.
So Gutfeld is working on a field of so-called conservatives, but using this all this gold and blue symbolism everywhere. Like the title is Gutfeld written in gold, and the background is always blue. As you can see, gold and blue is another form of 33, and he uses this everywhere. Gold, blue. We've been talking about it with. Let's just delete Tucker. With our Russian Vits, he also been saying that. Watch our videos, Black Spot, for example, where he talks about gold blue, and we also talked there about a case with Biden, which I recently mentioned in one of the videos. If you haven't seen it, just take a look. It's completely on the record that I've been saying several months or a year ago, at least, about what is going to happen with Biden, and so on. By the way, I was also saying a couple of times that something might happen to Trump back in 2020. I was thinking that Trump doesn't have anybody to back him up, because anytime you can see the plan could be done. So right now he's also talking about the guy that's supposed to be backing Trump up in certain case, but he's ridiculing him already, humiliating his hair or whatever, maybe the face. And let's just take a look at this guy. Is he somehow related to a 33 club? His name doesn't show us anything, I think. Let's just quickly check it out. Doug Burgum, D. Burgum. Well, as you can see, nothing really particular on this guy at the first glance. But if you take a look at him as Douglas James Burgum, Douglas James Burgum also doesn't give us anything. Douglas J. Burgum, nothing again. Douglas Burgum, nothing again. But what is written him, the first line that we see is he was born on August 1st, 1956. Let's just take a look. Sorry. Let's see. Born August 1st, 1956. We have a 39, which is, just said in the beginning of this video, 39 is a hidden form of 33. And again, if we have such thing, we're supposed to find another 33 just near the time that they mentioned the 33, and we can see the second line here calling him a 33rd governor of North Dakota. Okay, so I don't want to even just look it further. As you can see, he looks exactly like Bill Gates, his ex-boss from the company he was managing, the Microsoft Business Solutions. Okay, and so basically that's a Bill Gates guy to be pretending being the next vice president. Is he gonna be saving Trump's butt if something's happened? Or I'm not sure. So who is useful idiot in this case? Definitely Trump. Definitely he won't be backing him up, because he's a Bill Gates guy, and Trump is supposed to be fighting globalists. And if he actually decides to pick him as a VP choice, that would be surprising for me, and tell everything about Trump. Okay, so next thing is the overall opinion of why is this happening. Why is this happening? And this is happening after the so-called Civil War film. In Russia, it's called The Fall of Empire. The Fall of Empire. And I was thinking, why did they call it this way? The Fall of is 44, and Empire is 39. He informed 33, so now 44, 33 issue here. But anyway, they call it Civil War, and Civil War sometimes it's getting searched. For example, if you search Civil War, you can see 2024 film Civil War. 2024 film, okay? 2024 film. That's how it's shown in the search results. So let's just take a look at it. 2024 Civil War film as a Civil War film is a 39 itself, although Civil War itself is nothing. And of course, it's not going to happen on 2024. Otherwise, you would see something. And so 2024 is not the year when it's going to happen for sure. But anyway, the film was released in 2024. Was directed by British. Haven't we been just talking about British influence in all this? Okay, British author Alex Garland. Okay, let's just take a look at Alex Garland. And he is a clear 33 in Chaldean. Okay, so starring, for example, let's just check the first actor, Kirsten Dunst. She's playing the main role, and she's 44. So that would be clear, just a clear topic case. Maybe just let's take a look at who is filming this stuff. For example, we can see that it's production company called DNA Films, and it's actually the first title campaign. I've seen the Russian title with A24 first, but A24 is only distributor, so it's not the production. Production was DNA Films, and DNA Films was the one who were responsible for the Alex Garland script to be filmed correctly. And even there is a lot of coincidences, not only saying the last names of producers. For example, the guy G.G. Goodman also is a 33, and you know it because I've been showing it in plenty of other videos. The Goodman is one of the way the Masons call themselves in certain ways. So I'm not saying each and every one here is a 33 and completely related to the club, but for example, we should definitely take a look at DNA Films because it was the company that was filming and getting paid for this movie. And as you can see, DNA Films is also 33 as the author and as the producer and the author of the video. We should also maybe take a look at these two guys, but is it really important? Because if we have a director, author, 33, and a production company 33, and a first actress as a 44, we shouldn't be wasting our time on that anyway. And there's also more coincidence inside the movie. On the minute 33 and on the minute 44, you could find some really interesting coincidences. And in this particular movie, the idea was of using army against each other. So probably as the idea we just heard on the news on Tucker Carlson network, that using army solves anything, that it helps anything. and so on. So very interesting case in this movie. By the way, the president getting shot in the end by the army, folks from the army, and they just shooting him like that, blatant shooting, and in his office where he's supposed to be hiding. Secret services guys trying to negotiate, but were also shot by the soldiers, and so on. And the main actress is the Spider-Man's girlfriend, as you know. Spider-Man movie was also popular, and it's also 33. And so I think that is the case of being a 44 herself, and being the actress, the girlfriend of Spider-Man in the Spider-Man movie. Okay, so I think that is the involvement of the British, and the logic is very simple. British have problems themselves. You all know that they have just changed the prime minister, that the queen recently died. I mean, the year just passed, a little bit more. I mean, they have a new king who is suffering, as they say, critical sickness, having some type of medical issues, and so on. And what they have actually is MI6 as a core of everything, as the service that it keeps protecting. That Britain is supposed to be keeping it protected, and we all see how it's kept protected, as migrants always flow inside Britain, and you can even see the neighborhoods where no actual residents reside anymore. The original people, the indigenous people of indigenous people of Britain don't reside in some neighborhoods anymore. We have this problem in Moscow also, in some neighborhoods prevailing. They have a migrants population prevailing in some, but it's not like in London or anything. But I'm not saying we are like working harder on that. I'm not saying the immigration is the main cause of everything. I'm just saying it's the one of the instruments that the reset procedure is using when they replace the people of these so-called empty street people that are not living there anymore. On some case, sometimes they are like, a bio waste at that time that they are replaced, or sometimes they may be killed on massive massacre issue, or war, or genocide, which is also very interesting term. Genocide, yes, also a 3344 issue. So, and then you can use anything to cover up the people in the basements, and in the yards and everywhere. You just flood it all with mud, and wait it for dissolving all of this stuff, maybe using some people to replace some buildings, making renovation, just taking away the cultural track of the previous people, and making sure everything's okay. As I've been showing my videos about 19th century, when they do the cleanup of the streets, and they do renovations everywhere where windows are missing, and the technologies that they actually tell us that they had are not correlating with the buildings and the magnificence of them, and so they couldn't build them in the mud, in the fields, in the mud. They just building them in the cities that are already existing, or just renovating the buildings that already existed, telling us that they did something without blueprints, without anything. So that's what I'm trying to tell you guys, that somebody is always in front of that. And if we just do assassination and just say Robert here, and you would find assassination Robert Ford, assassination Robert Fico, and assassination of Robert Kennedy. And the assassination of Robert Fico also happened not that long ago. It happened on May 2024, 15th of May 2024. Let's just take a look if we have anything. 15th, let's say 15th May of May. Also a 44 date. Because you're supposed to check 3 ways: the way it's completely written or the way you can say it. Sometimes I even do it like the 15th of May. You can do it this way. Why not? So, I mean, you have to check it and see if we find anything related to the complete period. And as you can see, it's 4466 date, 15th of May, and it's used not just like this. It's used to commemorate this issue of 3344. So everybody who is understanding what's going on understood who is behind that. And Robert Fico was one of the guy who was critically injured by the suspect, Juraj Cintula. Okay. Assassination on Serbian president. News. May 16th. Serbia arrests man for threatening President Vučić. Okay. So the next day from Fico, we have a Vučić threat to assassination. Okay. Israel denies involvement in helicopter crash of Raisi. Okay, that was a month ago. Another guy who was against the war, with meaning they were supporting Russia in this war on the side of Russia. So both Vučić, Fico, Raisi, all of them are involved on helping Russian side, with Raisi sending Russians different drones and so on, and which did help a lot in prevailing some directions of for example, trolling the anti-missile defense systems of NATO countries that have been supplying Ukraine and so on. So we see a helicopter crash of Raisi. So we see a helicopter crash with also Raisi traveling from Azerbaijan, which has connections to British intelligence, of course, and that could be even a clear case of involvement of something, because it was something related to the helicopter. As we know, helicopters could be manipulated or some way, remotely destroyed or made some interference in the radio, positioning system or whatever. Because knowing that, we heard about different helicopter crashes that were very suspicious, as the crash with Kobe Bryant, for example.
Players in the world, but he hasn't gotten to the Mamba yet. Kanye West plays the boss.
Kanye West? Or somebody like him?
No. Kanye West.
Black Mamba, you ready to join my trophy wall? The world's deadliest predator is about to become my child boy.
To the Black Mamba, the game is slower. Kind of gets into this zone where you can see things before they happen. The Black Mamba's ready.
Come on! Get back! Get back! Push his ass! Technical! Go!
Oh, and they tend to cheat. Is that a problem?
Yeah. For them.
Airball.
No possession should be easy.
Tee up! Tee up!
But the Black Mamba has to battle. The Black Mamba has to win.
So does the boss.
Adios, motherfucker.
What are you waiting for? Go! Black Mamba ain't nothing. I'm the boss. This game ain't over, Mamba. I'll see you again.
Arrivederci. So how should it end?
Black Mamba doesn't end. Heroes come and go.
But legends are forever.
Now to major developments late today in the Kobe Bryant helicopter crash investigation. The preliminary report from the NTSB just in tonight, and what we've now learned. Here's Adrian Bankert.
So I'm not saying that is all in the same line, but the coincidence is very simple. We have several leaders who experienced the assassination or even died in the helicopter crash, and all of these leaders have something in common. They are pro-Russian position, or at least neutral to Russia, or proposing some peace. And they have all suffered an assassination attempt or something similar to that.
As Trump started, I noticed two officers that were looking for something or somebody. I was looking around myself and seeing a guy on top of one of the buildings. Where I last saw him was the end of his day.
So this man was able to basically climb to the next building, and you told law enforcement, hey, there's a guy over there.
Correct. I don't know how he got up there. I don't know any of that, but I definitely saw him up there and the officer, and that was all I know.
And watch and listen to the rally, right? We couldn't see him, but we could hear him. So we walked up, and probably 5 to 7 minutes of Trump speaking. I'm estimating here. I have no idea, but we noticed a guy crawling, bear crawling up the roof of the building beside us, 50 feet away from us. So we're standing there, we're pointing at the guy crawling up the roof.
And he had a gun, right?
He had a rifle.
A rifle.
We could clearly see him with a rifle. Absolutely. We're pointing at him. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey, man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police were like, huh, what? Like they didn't know what was going on.
Took over. And look what happened to our country. Probably 20 million people. And that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.